Well, the last 12 hours has been a hive of activity, and it's with regard to the body of the late President Edgar Lungu, as you may be aware. As of last week, the Lungu family appeal case was thrown out, and the body was expected to be in Zambia, but the body was not brought back to Zambia. People started speculating to say, why is it that the body of the late president is not being brought back to Zambia if the Lungu family has lost its appeal case? Meaning the Zambian government has been given legal possession of the body. But then it was later on, it should have been like 48 hours later on, communicated to information that was published by Shishua, stating to say, actually, the Lungu family has appealed to the Supreme Court, and that is why the Zambian government did not have access to the body of the late President Edgar Lungu. And it's from that conversation that everything has proceeded, because people are speculating to say, what's going on? No update was coming from Secretary to the Cabinet, that is Mr. Patrick Chagwa. No update was coming from Makebi Zulu, who's the spokesperson for the family. So since then, nothing new has come up apart from that information and that communication that came up to say the appeal case has been moved to the Supreme Court, and we're yet to get a verdict on that. But as of today, Sunday, some new developments have come in as of this evening. I would say the last 12 hours, a new development has come in. When I saw this headline, I ignored it. Obviously, I was thinking it's just an agenda that's been propagated by a certain section of people. But it seems to be catching wave as of 10 hours ago, actually, not even 12. When this platform put up, the Zambian Leaks put up a news article stating Esther Lungu authorizes the burning of Edgar Lungu to ashes. And then they go further to write, say, former First Lady Esther Lungu has authorized Patriotic Front PF family lawyer Makebi Zulu to burn into ashes former President Edgar Lungu if South African courts continue making judgments that the former president, the former Zambian leader, be buried in Zambia, or pretty much if the verdicts continue to favor the Zambian government, that particular platform alleges to say former First Lady has instructed Makebi Zulu to have the body of the former president Edgar Lungu to be cremated. And then they go further to say, the platform says the Zambian Leaks has been informed that Esther and Makebi Zulu have agreed that to only allow ashes of Lungu to be buried in Zambia. People have now been questioning why Esther and the Patriotic Front are very adamant on burying Lungu in Zambia, or pretty much obstructing that particular course of action. But the meeting has been agreed that they will burn Edgar Lungu's body only to give the Zambian government his ashes to bury in Zambia. So when I came across this article, I ignored it. But then again, I saw it on a number of platforms. It seems it's getting traction. Shifetari also weighed in. He says the Zambia, the court's the court order does not say hand over ashes to the Zambian government, but the body. So Esther cannot give us ashes. And he says he's going to bring up some more details, obviously. And then someone in the comment section was simply telling him, say, Daddy, you've got your own person of funeral. As you may be aware, he lost his mother-in-law. Should have been just like 24 hours ago or something like that. His wife is in Ethiopia, and she's lost her mom. And people are simply saying, focus on your personal funeral. Why are you still focused on the Lungu family funeral when you your personal bereavement in the family? And obviously responded to say that's a private funeral. She was never a public politician, and neither was she ever president. So you cannot compare the two, Edgar Lungu's funeral and also his mother-in-law's funeral. Obviously, he doubles down. He says now after that article, he says, I think Mwachira Momwe, you could be the ones doing rituals, referring to Esther Lungu and the children, pretty much the Lungu family. You could be the ones doing rituals with Edgar Lungu's body. Maybe you have taken out some parts. That is why you don't want to give it up. Otherwise, why the adamancy to the extent of wanting to cremate the body? It's too much now, he says. So it seems like he's also buying into that news headline to say Edgar Shagalungu's body is likely to be cremated, based off what's been circulating in the past 10 hours. And obviously, and then he says he cannot compare the two funerals. That's his personal the family bereavement and the Edgar Shagalungu bereavement. And people are also speculating to say, wait, if this news headline to say Edgar Shagalungu's body is likely to be cremated is has any credibility, if it's true or it's just people speculating, then that other headline to say Edgar Shagalungu might not be dead might just hold water at this point now. Speculations are all over the place. This is the point where all the delegated individuals to comment on this are supposed to chip in, especially from the Lungu family. That's Makebi Zulu. In as much as you might want to disregard this news to say, no, it's just people that are circulating news online randomly, as a family, they're supposed to come and speak to say is that their decision for them to have the body cremated? If not, simply state that's has no credibility. But otherwise, the silence that they've been doing will not save them any. It will not be of any help at this point. An update is needed, an official update at this point. Obviously, the news headline now is even in Malawi. A Malawan platform carried it, obviously, there. And then, on the other hand, JJ Banda's English can make you believe Edgar Chagalungu is alive. Kaya manje. So, as that news was circulating to say there's a possibility that Esther Lungu has instructed Magebi to have Edgar Chagalungu's body cremated, JJ Banda was live, and in one of his live streams, he said something that people has left people wondering. Let me just let you listen to what JJ Banda said on the live stream, which has also been trending around the same time that the other headline of the cremation has been trending. Just stand by. Let me play you JJ Banda's video, him speaking. Stand by.
At the airport, as we are coming to receive VCL after independence, who come together with ECL in the same plane. Ndeke, imoz na ECL, ndiye tukuza nayo. Wonse mkawene mkatilandile kwa airport. Kwa sila, after independence, you better give us next year at the airport. As we are coming to receive ECL after independence, who come together with ECL in the same plane. Ndeke, imoz na ECL, ndiye tukuza nayo. Wonse mkawene mkatilandile kwa airport. Kwa sila, after independence, you'll be free, even to be talking.
So that's what people are referring to. Say, what does he mean he's going to come back with Edgar Shagalungu's body? I mean, in the plane. Does he mean he's going to accompany the family as they repatriate the body back to Zambia? Or does he mean Edgar Shagalungu is alive? So that's where people are lost. Say, what does he mean? He should have just spoken in Nyanja so that people understand it, because now that communication is kind of all over the place. What does it mean? As the people go and receive ECO, is going to be part of that entourage? Does it mean as they go and receive the body, or does it mean when they go and receive the live person? Anyway, that's what JJ Banda. He's been doing a number of live streams the past couple of days, and Chief Etari laughed at him to say, "Hey, he's going through it in exile." But then again, in Bemba, there's that saying they say, "Bakolova second F pato." Because Chief Etari is laughing at another person that is in exile. He's also in exile. And if you remember, not so long ago, it should have been like a month ago, when Chifetari was having those episodes where he was thinking he was going to die because of his abdominal issues that he was having. And he just started ranting, almost undressing online. Now his friend seems to be having an episode and is laughing at him to say it's not easy to be in exile. Anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, so Chifetari was simply saying, hey, life in exile is not easy. He's not having it easy. And then more people are weighing in on JJ Banda. Say one day, Honorable JJ Banda will mistakenly go live with Edgar Lungu Pano. He talks a lot. So that reaction simply saying, hey, one of these days, JJ Banda is doing these rants and these live streams. You end up going live with Edgar Shagalungu if he's still alive, because that headline seems to be getting traction also. If you remember when why me, that guy used to insult President Hakainde Hichilema online for a while, when he was doing one of the live streams when he was in exile in Zimbabwe, he ended up going live, and then JJ Banda was not aware that he's on TikTok. and then came to serve him food, and then people discovered that, oh, wait a second, so JJ Banda and Waimi are in the same location. And since then, that's when JJ Banda left Waimi in Zimbabwe. I don't know where he is now, but it's since then that they captured Waimi. So people are simply saying the way he's doing these live streams, one of these days, some individual that is not supposed to be seen is going to end up appearing on those live streams. And one of those videos that Chifetari was laughing at, say, being in exile is not easy. Only a tough man can survive. This is another video of JJ Banda going live, and he was having a rant. And it's a lot. He seems to be going through a lot, honestly. He's having an episode.
Because when I wrote on a motor, no enjaneka. Osati chindi ngatunufuna the driver siku twasalapo mutima utose maziba kuti ngasa indebani ngavutikeli ni mchalwa because wana ruta na motoka no chito enjaneka osati chindi ngatunufuna the driver siku twasalapo mutima utose.
So it's those rants. JJ Banda seems to be having an episode, just like Chifetari had. But anyway, Chifetari was laughing at him because of that. On the other hand, Patriotic Front will participate in the 2026 elections, and we will collaborate with those of like mind to defeat President Hakainde Hichilema, Raphael Nakachinda says. So he says PF will participate. And on the other hand, UPND warns its members of the party. And that's the message coming from the Secretary General. So the warning is UPND issues 10 warning against unauthorized campaigns in areas with UPND MPs, mayors, council chairpersons, and councillors. So simply saying anyone that is campaigning in areas where UPND already has an MP and a councillor, that's not authorized, only if they're campaigning in opposition areas. That message seems to insinuate, but yeah, so that's the message coming from the UPND. What PF says, PF General Conference will be held before the end of the year. Raphael Nakachinda there continues. And then Musamba says, Barbara Chama says, Hakainde Hichilema has ignored him, resulting in his bitterness, and he needs a job. So she's referring to Emmanuel Mwamba to say, Emmanuel Mwamba has managed to survive in different governments. He was FTJ's press aide. Then he managed to be in good books with Bia Banda, and then also with Microsat. I think it was PS during Microsat's reign. The only presidency that he has not served in since Chirwa's time is Mwanawasa's presidency. Any other presidency, Mano Mwamba served in. So according to Barbara, she's alleging to say it's because they have not offered him a job, and that is why he's been doing a lot of PR against the presidents and also against the against the UPND. She says if President Hakainde Hichilema offers him a job, he'll be an ally in that sense. And then Mass Newspaper carries that the headline, Malawi has given a signal. The voting pattern could spill to Zambia next year, says ex-envoy. So it seems like Malawian incumbent president is losing those elections, and that's what they're referring to in that newspaper there, saying President Hakainde Hichilema might suffer the same fate in 2026. News diggers do not just talk about problems and end there. Discuss solutions. Hakainde Hichilema doing in the graduation, or where his daughter Mianda Hichilema also graduated. That's as part of an extract from that speech. And then Sunday Nation carries a headline to say either we unite or be doomed. Muhabi says. So the opposition seems to be talking about unity, but every time any one of them mentions unity, they refer to unity around that one individual. So, for example, if I'm saying no, let us unite as the opposition, I'll be saying no, you support MD90. No, all of the guys there. There's a big elephant in the room that is not being addressed in the opposition. Who's going to be the presidential candidate? As long as they do not address that from inception, they are just running in circles at this point. And actually, was why the UPND is also thriving to say, there's no opposition in reality, and it looks like so. Each one of them wants to run the race on their own, but they want to use the clout for the Patriotic Front. and which serves of no use for them. Anyway, they continue to advocate unity, obviously. Let's wait and see how that plays out. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen.